It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock. We have a lot to go over today, but I tell you what the big breaking news is, and I want to share this with y'all. There's so much stuff going on. I'm glad we don't have a guest today because there's just a lot of stuff we got to get caught up on. One thing is Adam Kokesh is starting. We've been sitting on this information for a long time. If you look on today's archive, you'll see that we have a link to a story that we put up at the top of today's dispatch that is about Adam Kokesh, he's a Marine. He was in Fallujah. He went there to help the people. He thought, seriously, that's his job title. He's going to go there to help. He learned Arabic. Learned a little bit of Arabic, goes over, we're here to help. I'm indigenous people, officer-friendly guy with a Marine insignia. Oh, heck no, that's not what was going on. He's in Fallujah, seen people die, and he's comes back disillusioned. He was like, heck no. Excuse me. So what happened, he got involved with IVAW, Iraq Veterans Against War. I first met him in, never heard of him before or anything. I was emceeing along with Gary Franchi the Revolution March in Washington, D.C. It was July 12th of 2008. What happened, I'll tell you behind the scenes story. We got there Wednesday, the march is on Saturday. So we always come in a couple of days before. There's a big, big Phoenix contingent there, Freedom's Phoenix, the Lovolution and everything from out of Phoenix and such. So we knew how this worked. They always, we did a press release, and they're not going to pay attention to you. We know that, especially that in Washington, D.C. So it's on the West Capitol lawn. So what we did is we go, all right, we'll go ahead and come down. And we made these signs, Revolution March. Yes, Sierra, get those, Revolution March. Go to ronpaulrevolution.org, and you'll see those signs you can put up here so that people can see it. Sorry, I forgot to put that up. We'll get it up, and you see it in the video. So what we did is we made these signs by the gazillions, and we are going to put them up all around Washington, D.C., super security, everybody around like, yeah, blah, 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 try and stop us. So Wednesday night, it's late, gets into early Thursday morning. My wife went out with Adam Kokesh. We said, all right, who can help? Well, of course, IVAW said we can help. They're participating in this thing. We'll go ahead and help you out. So she went out with a volunteer, an intern from IVAW, and Adam Kokesh and put these signs, Revolution March, all over Washington, D.C., on fences, overpasses, around monuments, and chain link, everywhere, just kind of, try and stop us. Then we had little flyers and so on that we put on the metro, their little subway system there. We had the big signs in the entrances there. They're everywhere. While she was doing that, Adam had his speech he'd been working on for about a month. And he wanted to read it to her. She came back. Gary Franchi and I were working on our skit. We did this, We Know the Truth. That's where that phrase, We Know the Truth, came from on the cards that we have of the guy throwing the bouquet of flowers, which I found out later was Banksy. This guy is all famous and everything. And he called me about a year ago or so saying, hey, I like the way you're using it, in peace and whatever, and Banksy. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's out of London or whatever. And I said, wow. I was talking to Adam about it. He goes, you know Banksy? I go, well, no, he called me. And he goes, nobody knows who he is. Well, I don't know who he is. I just know he called me. So he's done, it was nominated for an Oscar as a documentary that was mainly about his work. So I'm going, wow, I got to get that movie. The one that won was Inside Job about Wall Street. I need to get that one too. So we've had a lot of these people that were interconnected that really have the same theme. They just want to be left alone. The reason we use that flower throwing guy instead of a Molotov cocktail, this guy wearing a bandana and he's throwing a bouquet of flowers. And where that came from, I knew that was the logo of how they knew the Lovolution in Europe. At the same time, July 12th, they had a simultaneous rally Strasbourg, I think it was, and some other city. There was one in France and one in Germany. So we're talking about, hey, and this is a logo and all that, and we incorporated it in a lot of stuff that we do, and that's the logo that we had translated into Arabic. It says, we know the truth in Arabic, in our Arabic Facebook and Twitter accounts. And our Arabic Twitter, man, it's exploding. It's getting over, 2,000 and something followers, and I get, like a dozen a day. I keep adding on to that. And I'm going, wow, this is, Sierra puts the stuff up. It's translated into Arabic. The young activists and bloggers all over the world know the stories that we put up on Haria Phoenix, which is Arabic for Freedom's Phoenix, version of the same stories that you guys see. It's just all the ones that have anything to do with the Middle East are translated into Arabic, be they from USA Today or Washington Post or some blogger or, some Lou Rockwell article or something. Boom. They're up there and they see and know what you know for the first time. So this is powerful and it's dangerous to the big bad guys. What the heck? What happens when, 30% of the population is under 15 and they start getting ingrained in their mind the concept that they own themselves, don't have to pick, Pharaoh number 47. This is powerful stuff and we know this. While we were in Washington, D.C., all this stuff is coming together. I could see what was coming. I experienced libertarian activists. A lot of us, like Angela Keaton from antiwar.com, Scott Horton, Eric Garris, all these guys, man, they've been at this since Kosovo. So we have a lot of other libertarian activists, that are working hard and so on. So this is what we've been waiting for, the technology. We'll talk about our new magazine that we're doing too. Well, that started as a newspaper format that we did 2004. All this stuff is in our head. We were just waiting on the technology. Oh, yeah. So while we were there, Donna came home from putting the signs up with Adam, and she said, "Oh man, you got to read his speech." Well, what did it say? Well, it's just you got to read it. Well, what was he talking about? Well, you got to read it. All right. So we contacted Adam. Charles Goyette and I were in Washington. He was one of the speakers. And we went and had dinner with him the next night, I guess Thursday night or Friday. I think it's probably Thursday night. We go to, some Red Robin hamburger place or something that was across the street from some bar that Ron Paul was going to be showing up at. And that was a big to-do. And we went over there and party and woohoo. While we're talking, he handed me his speech. And he goes, here, and you can look at it later. I'm like, wow, Charles, you got to read this. And Adam goes, no, nobody else is looking at it. I don't want anybody ripping me off. This is good stuff. I worked on mine. All right, well, he didn't know Charles. Charles is fine, man. He's got his own stuff. But I read it, and I'm going, this is going to rock the house. This is amazing. By the time, they really had a lot of guests. And at the end of it, it was Adam Kokesh, then Chuck Baldwin, then Ron Paul that ended up. Well, they kept pushing Ron Paul's stuff back because it kept adding more stuff. Well, we're doing everything we can to keep the trains running on time. Well, I can't remember his name. He was the CIA guy, Michael Scherer, I think it was. He went kind of long. So we had to work out a deal to make sure that Adam still got to have this speech that rocked the crowd in 100-and-something degree weather with uber humidity. It was an amazing thing. I'll tell you about it and what launched him and why the Russian government is paying him to spread the libertarian message.